Gas mileage sucks. Don't do it, Cat.
Yeah, gas is getting crazy. What's the price of gas where you guys are at? We're somewhere. Well, I swear we're pushing $5 here in the Seattle area.
In Houston, it's $3.90.
That's cheap.
We were at 374 today.
That's really cheap.
Central Indiana.
Dang. Well, we were talking about this earlier. I don't know what everybody else's price for gasoline or petrol, depending on where you're living on the planet, is. Be interested in finding out. I know there are different ways that you can check gas prices all around at least the United States. But, in talking about this stuff, it makes you kind of wonder what the future of the automobile is. I haven't really seen people change their travel habits, despite the fact that gas is quite expensive. The only exception to that would be those who travel around in, I guess, RVs. My parents bought one for retirement and haven't been able to drive it anywhere because it gets just horrible mileage. It's just too expensive. So what is the future of the automobile? I threw this question out to the chat room here a few minutes ago, and we came up with 5 ideas of the way it could go. And one of the ways it might go, no wheels. This is kind of a given. We're eventually going to be flying around, hovercrafts, if you will. I think it's possible. I mean, certainly wheels are going to be around for the foreseeable future, but at some point, when we want to transport ourselves from one part to another, it's going to be far more efficient to not use wheels than it would be to use wheels. I mean, because of friction, distance, roads, etc. Wheels are just, they were good, but it's time to kind of reinvent the wheel as far as wheels are concerned. They're only going to get us so far and so fast. Another thing that we believe it's the future of the automobile is, well, of course, renewable energy. And I think that was a given. I would personally like to see more cars running on electricity rather than hydrogen or any other type of fuel. Just because, well, electricity is all around us. And to be able to harness it in such a way that we're not reliant on, well, let's say foreign products, at least here in the U.S., it's a big kind of sticking point, or just, destroying the earth. And, is that to say that electric cars would be any safer or better? I don't know. But I'm sure that the planet would be happier with us using more electricity in a renewable fashion rather than, throwing off, all these excess gases. Now, here's an interesting idea for the future of the automobile. Free content. I have XM in my car, and I like my XM subscription, but at some point, it becomes kind of silly to pay for that stuff. If cars came equipped with internet access, and let's just say they will or can, then you could pull in some kind of live stream from anywhere. In fact, I just learned about a free service for the iPhone or the iPod Touch that I added it directly onto my iPhone. You don't need to hack your iPhone. Flytunes.fm. And with Flytunes FM, just over a regular internet connection, whether it's an Edge connection or Wi-Fi, you can stream audio in through your iPhone. You don't need to be connected to anything other than the internet and pull in an audio feed, whatever stations are listed in Flytunes.fm. It's kind of a neat little service there. So at some point, you wonder, well, why am I paying for this content? You don't really need to in your automobile. Maybe it should come with it. Another bit of the future that we really can't wait to see would be a full HUD, a heads-up display. So now it's relatively inefficient the way we have our dashboard laid out. We've got our speedometer, our odometer, our momdometer. No, I made that part up. There's no momdometer, although there should be. I don't know. What would a momdometer do? Anyway, instead of having it down there, they should actually be integrated almost invisibly or in a holographic way within the windshield. It would be just amazing. Not only to help with night vision, which can help you see objects that are off in the distance, like deer, which we've come close to hitting at some points in the past. In my years of driving, I've only hit one deer, and luckily the damage that I sustained was relatively minor. Well, not just for the deer, but for the car as well. So a nice heads-up display integrated within the windshield would be wonderful to see. And here's another one that people seem to talk about, and I think we're still a few years away from it, but it's probably, out of all of these, probably the most likely that we'd see first. Automated driving. I mean, being able to punch in, maybe we won't see it first. I don't know what we're going to see first here. But being able to punch in like you can right now with an integrated GPS or a GPS in general, saying, I'm going here, blah, 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 and then it doesn't just give you the directions, it just takes you. And then you don't need to drive anymore. It's just fully aware of everything that's around it and is able to compensate accordingly. I'm pretty sure that all of these things are coming. Are they going to come in our lifetime? I don't know. But it's certainly something that I like thinking about, if only to just imagine what it might be like in the future of the automobile. So what about you? What would you like to see in cars of the future? I mean, realistic things. I mean, I think these are realistic. Maybe you don't. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. Of course, you're welcome to leave a comment, especially the corresponding blog post at chris.pirillo.com. And, of course, you're also welcome to swing by the chat room. Let us know what your first car was, or what your ideal car would be. No holds barred. What would a momdometer do? Just guessing. What would it do? I don't know. Maybe it would tell you how fast your wife is telling you how you're doing things wrong. It happens. I'm just saying, it happens. So if you'd like to stop by the chat room, we're typically talking tech 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.